Radio Project One.
Live by Ineos.
And I've got our next guest in the studio, Peter Clymans. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. All.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Yeah, you look chipper. And
Yeah, well,
cheerful.
it's I think a little bit too cold also.
But it's a
quite a
beautiful
fresh morning.
It's a beautiful sunrise for the moment.
Absolutely,
So
absolutely.
we've
And we
got-
always have this nice skyline with our plant here in the background.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
really nice to see.
Yeah. Peter, you are mechanical lead and integrity engineer. Can you tell us a bit more about your job?
It's a complex.
Yeah, what does it actually mean, Peter?
Let's say that in the beginning of this project 7 years ago, where we started with developing the philosophies, the procedures, and the specifications for this project, because we start from scratch and we developed a lot of these documents. And these documents were the base to develop this plant, to create the plant, etc. And today we are looking to whatever is constructed here every day, whether this is in line with the specifications. So we do a lot of quality control, in fact, on whatever is built now on site.
Yeah. Do you then have a specific place on site where you work, or is it entail pretty much all over the site?
Well, my team is working all over the site. We have many people in the teams scattered around looking to what we're doing. Myself, I'm at the Noordplot. There I have a fixed office. Why? Because I'm not coming so much outside, unfortunately, because here is the place to be. Here you see everything. But of course, there are people that have to coordinate things, and there are other people that have the eyes and the ears on site.
You have to do some paperwork.
I have to do, unfortunately, a lot of paperwork. Yeah, it's part of it.
I also heard you've got a very specific hobby outside of your job.
Yeah,
if you'd like to tell
one
us
day,
more.
Nathalie, I thought she was here somewhere, but she heard that I was doing a hobby, and then she asked, "What is the link effect with the project?" And then my hobby is gliding, soaring. So we flying planes without a motor.
All right. Yeah.
And well, like I'm always interested in technology. I was in the club many years ago, and they asked whether I could do some maintenance works in the winter. And from one came another, and I, let's say, followed the course from the Belgian government, doing the maintenance on the equipment. And then later on, I followed all the course for airworthiness review certification. That means every glider, every year, has to be like your car, every 4 years. And we have to, no, every 1 year is this, after 4 years.
After 4 years, you have to do one time a year.
It's the same with the gliders. Every year they have the full technical control, and I'm, let's say, educated and trained now to do that. And that's a very nice hobby. And from one came another. It started with gliders. It gave a little bit further with motor planes.
All right.
And the nice thing is, if you sit in a motor plane, but gliding here in Antwerp is very difficult. We have the airfield of Antwerp, so we cannot with the gliders come here.
Have to be careful.
But if you have a motor in front of it, that's something else. You can ask permission to fly over. So from time to time, I do also a visit on this plant from the air side.
Sounds amazing, because it's not for everyone to probably fly over this site. It's not that easy.
It's a privilege.
You can get access to do that.
I can have access. We see nice drone videos, but coming from the north, looking in the far to this plant, and then making 360 around it, that's very nice.
Yeah. I can immediately feel some similarities between the hobby and the technical work you did there, and the quality checks and the control and assurance, and your job here.
Yep, that's the link. And well, it's a little bit let's say a continuation of the work what I do in the hobby, and it takes a lot of time, but I'm passionate as well in the job as well in the hobby. So that's my life.
I think a lot of people have felt that feeling of, if you've ever been on a plane, that feeling being up in the sky, if it's now a small plane or a big plane, feels very special every time again. But it must feel extra special in very small planes or gliders. Feeling very freeing, of course.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's a freedom. As soon as you leave the ground, it's you and the plane. That's it. And the most important things, you are in control. You have the stick in your hands. You do whatever you want. But you have to follow the rules in the air.
Of course you do. Have to. Now, what's been the most memorable place you've seen from the sky? And the answer cannot be this side, because that would be your answer, of course, Peter.
Well, I have had the opportunity, and that is very special, together with a colleague, go to France, and we did 1 week gliding in the Alps. And I can tell you, with the glider, without a motor in the Alps, crossing the mountains, that is very special. It's an amazing adventure. It was an amazing adventure. I hope to do it once again, but that is quite exciting. I can tell you, for example, the first flight was 5 hours. When we landed,
5 hours.
I was 5 hours, and when we landed, I had said to my colleague, wait another quarter of an hour or half an hour, because at this moment I'm so tired I even cannot get out of the plane. So, but it was well, let's say the best of the memories, I think, from the gliding adventures I had. Yeah, absolutely.
You lead an interesting life, Peter.
Well, I think yes, here. It's, we always tell you, Project One is for an engineer is really the summum to be here, because you learn every day. Every day is a new day. You don't know in the morning what the evening will bring you, and that makes life so interesting.
Radio Project One.
Live by Ineos.